Hello everybody, it's Farm Sim Guy back here again on Bull's Gap. If you remember at the end of the last episode, we had just a little bit of this field left to plant to finish off our rather large grass harvest. You can see the other two fields over there are already growing nicely, so we'll need to get these into the ground. We're going to wait a little bit and make sure that they're all ready at the same time, because I'm basically going to mow this entire area as one field, just as a one-off, so we can get the biggest harvest we've had. Hopefully that's going to bring us in a huge amount of money. We need that for the target of $1 million in the bank, and it definitely seems to be quite a lucrative way of doing it. We have also got a field of corn, which will bring in some rather nice income from the distillery as well. So that's doing well, and obviously we've got a few other things going on: onions, honey, eggs, the horses as well. So there's some more money to be had from the horses as well when they are ready. So we're making good progress towards really what we set out to do when we started this series. I know I've had a whole heap of fun doing it, and I know you guys enjoy this series. So we'll need to come up with a decision soon about what we do with this series, I guess. Because the world is really our oyster now. Now we're starting to make big money. We can decide what we want to do next. So I might push that out to you guys as a decision in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, we will quickly get this field planted. I would like to manure or digestate on the two fields that have got grass on them already, because they're only fertilised 50% at the moment. I believe this one is fertilised 100%, as is this one next to us. But we missed putting, I think, digestate on those two fields over there, so they do need another application of fertilizer. I want to optimize the amount of grass I can get off this. I want a really good yield out of it, because obviously that will bring us more money. So we'll get this done very quickly, and then we will maybe get the tanker out and we'll go and spread some digestate. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, here we are, just getting this last little piece done. Just this pass, and we'll head back over it the other way, and that will be us done, and that's all our grass planted, which is great. And then what we'll do, we'll run this back to the yard. We'll probably grab the white, just for a bit of variety. And we will... I just want to test. It may be that we've missed the boat with the manure spreading or the digestate spreading. Because when I checked the grass, it said it's already ready to harvest. But I do know grass you can harvest at any point, especially with the Real Mower mod installed. So it could still grow further. So I'm going to leave it. But we'll test if we can drop another layer of fertilizer on it. I'm optimistic that it's got a few more growth states in it as well. So with that in mind, I will grab the white and we'll go and check it out. Right, that's us in the white. Obviously we had the planter attached there, but what we'll do, if we run up here, just grab the tanker. It's these two fields here, so one we've got planted, one we don't. Our digestate in the tank is absolutely brim full, so it makes sense to use a little bit of it. Let's just turn our HUD on so you can see what's happening. What I want to test, and I'll show you if I jump into the mini-map here. In fact, I'll show you. I can jump out and I can show you. Here, fertilised 50%. You see that? In the corner there. What I want, ideally, is that to be 100%. Now on this side, again, fertilised 49%, 50%. I want to know if that will go to 100% as well, because that will give us a better return when we come to harvest it. So let's find out. So we turn it on. We'll just run this a little bit. There's no point in running loads of it if it's not going to make a difference. But the other option actually with this one is we've obviously just planted this. So we've put a layer of fertilizer in, so we may need to wait a growth state for this one. And that is why we're doing 2 tests. But look, 100%. So that is positive. Great stuff. Now let's head over to the other field. We'll just do a little test here and then we can head round and do them both. So if we just stick this here, turn it on for a second. Doesn't look too pretty. Not showing up as applying anything actually. See that? And it isn't changing it. So, one is working, one is not. So, with that in mind, we'll do this one very quickly. We'll get that done. I wonder if we put dry fertilizer on this one. We'll test that as well. We'll go and get the seeder after this and give it a test. But we know it works on this field, so that's a positive. So we will get this field done. There we go, the last little pass of this field, and that is another one completely fertilized, which is brilliant. That means we'll get the most grass that we can off this field when it's ready. Hopefully I can get both sides of this. It's looking like I can though, that's great. So we are done here with the digestate. Now ideally it would have been nice to get the other field done as well. We are missing a little bit of that corner there. Let's spin around and just grab that. There's a few patches on this, but most of the field is good. So there we go. Let me just turn that off. And as we head back to the farm, let me just quickly jump back into the PDA and show you what we've done. So there you go. Just this field here to see if we can get it to work with dry fertilizer. I'm not confident, but we'll definitely make sure that we can. Because if we can, we will get that spread. It won't take any time at all because our little spreader has got quite a wide spreading width on it, so it will help us to rattle through it relatively quickly. So let's park this back in its spot and we'll go and get the spreader. So we thought this was a good opportunity to have a bit of a tidy up actually, so I am dropping the seeder back in the shed. There's the spreader there. It has got lime in it at the moment, but we'll empty that out and we'll go and get some stuff from our little auger wagon. So let's just tuck this in the corner next to the bale wrapper and the windrow. Drop that off, and we will drop the front of it off as well. This trailer being in here isn't ideal as well, so we'll have to move that at some point. It's fine for now because we can get at the lime spreader. But it's not perfect, so we will drop this off as well and then we'll be done. Right, brilliant. Let's grab this. This could be a waste of time as well if it's not going to accept any more fertilizer, but I'm kind of hoping it might, so we'll see. Let's unload it out here. I'm sure we had the issue there, not enough space to unload. It does happen every now and again. There we go. So we are empty now. We'll get a little bit of fertilizer, shall we? Now, if you remember in our last episode, we emptied all of our fertilizer, our homemade fertilizer, out of our little auger wagon there and dumped it on the floor in here so we could go and get some lime. Now, We all remember what happened there. That little auger wagon doesn't take lime. Now I could mod it to take lime, and I probably will do that in the future. But for now, for just speed, we haven't done anything about that. So what we're going to do is load this manually. Now hopefully this will work. If I get my stuff lined up alright, there's a bit on the floor there, but we can pick that up. But it should only take a couple of buckets this is not a huge fertilizer spreader. And we know actually, in terms of the amount of fertilizer we need to put on the field, it's not huge amounts. So we could well get this cleared off relatively quickly. I don't think we'll need to refill it a lot. I actually think maybe it's the same size bucket as it is volume of the spreader. Let's just check that. Let's just check that. It is indeed, look at that, that's perfect. So, we will do a quick test here. If this works, I really hope it does. It'll be frustrating if I've missed a trick with this, because I should have fertilised it quicker. Let's turn it on here. That is looking very promising. Let me just turn it off again. We'll just do a quick check, but the fact that the ground was going dirty here was one thing, but look, nope, still 50%. So I think we've missed our opportunity. So we're only going to get, well, we'll get a little bit less yield off that field than maybe we were expecting. So there you go. At least we tried. It was worth checking to make sure that we could get away with it, but looks like we missed the boat. We didn't plan that properly. So, little more. Now, the only other thing I can think is that maybe there's another growth stage to come. But I think with grass it's different because you can mow it at any stage. It means that it won't accept any more fertilizer. So we'll just have to drop this in here and learn the lesson. So we'll just park him up here. Now what I do know as well is that field 8, our purchased field up here, is ready for harvest already. So the corn is ready to go in there. So with that in mind, I think what we need to do is fire up the combine, drop the wheat header off, we'll spin this round, and we will go and get that corn harvested, because we can get that into the distillery and we can get that making more whiskey for us, which is a very, very profitable business. So let's get this hooked up, and we'll get this down to field 8, and the Mac over there as well, ready to go, and we'll get them down to field 8, and we'll get combining this. And look at that, there's even 2% corn left in this combine. I don't know why that's there, but I'm not going to complain. So everything's looking good here. In fact, checking as I go past the fuel point, we are running a little bit low on fuel, so we'll fill it up. Okay, so the combine's running. We've brought the Mac over. What we want to do now, what we've done is set the combine to self-unload, because it's not a huge field, so it's not going to have a huge impact on the amount of time it takes us to unload the field. So we'll just run with the combine now, and we'll wait and see how long it takes him to fill up, which isn't going to be too long, although typically it's going to be as far from the truck as we could get it, right on the other side of the field. But volume-wise, we're... I mean, it's not a big tank in this combine at all, but we're coming up on 80% at the moment. There we go. Little flashes go on. So he is going to get right down to the end, hopefully, of this row before the end. But it's not a huge yield, I don't think. It's looking okay, but we definitely don't think we'll get a full trailer. That's a 50,000 litre trailer, so we're going to need to get quite a lot of combine loads out of this, and I don't think we're going to do that. So we'll maybe get 2/3 of a trailer full, but it all counts. 5 combine loads out of this field, probably unlikely, but we can but hope. We can but hope. There you go, combine's full at the bottom there. He's going to run up here, hopefully. Find the trailer, I think he knows where it is. So he's going to unload and then head back to the point he was at. He's picking his way over the swath here. It's pretty large, this swath, so he needs to be careful that he doesn't get stuck on it. A little bit less of an issue with the header raised, but yeah. There's a few points there where he's stopped. That is quite big piles of swath. So there we go though. Pipe out. And he's unloading. Nice. Right, well I guess we'll let them get on with it. Well folks, we are coming to the end of this episode. It's been a relatively short one, I know, but we've got some good stuff done. We are making some good yield out of this field now. It's very possible we'll get our 50,000 litres out of this field, so we'll see how we get on with this over the next wee while. But we'll carry on combining here and we'll get it all loaded up into the trailer ahead of the next episode. But from me for now, thank you very, very much for watching. Keep an eye open this week. We've got some interesting stuff coming with FarmCon, and so we'll be doing some slightly different to usual vids later on this week, reviewing the content of those days. So stay tuned for those, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.